everybody, how's it going? This is going to be my last update before I hit the sack. I killed it in the market today. I made more than enough to afford a really nice igloo. Can probably buy maple syrup for the rest of my life. Got a lifetime supply of that. And I'm so excited to stockpile up on my moose jerky supply. It's going to be so beautiful, guys. When you're Canadian and all you care about is affording a very nice igloo to live in, that's all you can ask for in the market. It's just gotta have a really good day sometimes, and today was a great day. So let's do a Bitcoin update before I hit the sack here. Yeah, if you guys have been following me for the past few days, it's been a pretty good few days, right? Not just for this coin, but in particular Litecoin especially. So maybe I'll do an update sometime in the evening if I get up. I sleep very weird schedules because I'm on Romanian time. If you guys don't know who Valcoin is, we always talk at very odd hours, and I try to keep to kind of her schedule. So that's why you'll find me up at very odd hours. And you know what? People have commented they've commented on me right-clicking a lot. I apologize for right-clicking a lot. I really can't help it, guys. I just have this OCD issue of right-clicking. It's like just a habit, I guess, from gaming in general. So in my previous video, I was mentioning that if we broke above this key resistance area right here around 9,500, or sorry, 8,800, that was the key number to break above, right? 8,850, around there. And I suggested a beautiful risk to reward ratio that you guys might have taken, and if you did, you're very, very profitable. So what you wanted was a previous candle with volume that was slowly increasing. See this volume right here increasing, and this candle clearly had a lot of volume, and it was more than enough to push through. So if you guys took that trade right here, I was suggesting a target of about $9,500, right? The reason why I suggested a $9,500 target was simple. It was because that was where the previous swing high was, and this offered a very, very generous risk to reward. We're talking a stop loss of about $8,700, for example, depending on where your stop loss was, right? I think that the minimum risk to reward ratio for that particular setup was about 4.66 if you set your stop at 8,700. So congratulations, everybody. I am super happy that you guys actually took this trade. You made some killer profit. So let's talk about the Elliot wave count that I see here right now on this particular structure. I'm not going to review everything because I reviewed a lot already, and I don't want to overwhelm you guys with too much information. And sometimes I will keep my Bitcoin technical analysis very short because there's no need to review everything. Perhaps during the first technical analysis of the day, it'll be a more long one, like 30 minutes to an hour. But then the ones intraday, we can just do a very brief one as well, right? So let's actually go to a 15-minute chart here. So the way that I counted my Elliot wave, and the reason why I was able to identify that top as well, if you guys have been following me on Twitter, is simple. Right here. Sometimes we actually get extensions of 161.8, right? Usually I like to target a 1-to-1 extension minimum right there, but clearly we shot through that completely. So the next logical target would have been 161.8 for the third wave, right? And then the next one after that was about a 261.8, and we nailed both of these targets with flying colors, guys. And the reason why I was mentioning that it was important for us to close above $9,500 for the week, and guys, we've only got 2 hours to go to close for the week. Let me show you guys very quickly. All right, let me just delete all this out. It's because of this right here. See this low? Right, see the low right here is 93.59, and do you see the open? Look right up there, okay, was about 95.79, and right now we're at about 96.14. So I thought that it was very important to close above this particular structure, or these two candles in particular, for the previous weeks. So if we closed above these candles right there, I thought that it would seem a lot more bullish, right? And some of the bullish sentiment might be retained or instilled in the market. So I think that that's very successful so far. We've got a few hours to go, about 2 hours to go there to try to stay in a more bullish, or to retain some of a bullish momentum rather than compared to the previous week, right? And we can see clearly right here as well that we are doing great on volume. A lot of the sell-off volume has happened already, and let's really hope that this long wick right here you know, it would have been really ideal if we closed above 10,400 around this range here, but sometimes we can't always get what we want in life, right? So hopefully we maintain this bullish momentum throughout the week. I think that a lot of people loaded up around the 8,300 range right here, 83, 8,400, and it might even signal a bull rally to come. So let's look on the 15-minute chart very quickly to see where we stand, all right? So I mentioned earlier that we hit our 161.8 extension, drawing our Elliott waves like this. And this is how we were able to also identify this top right here. And I think a lot of my friends entered a short position, and they might have closed it a little bit early, but you know what? It's looking very, very good to me so far this week. I think that the bulls are starting to rally, and they're wanting to retain this momentum that we have. So it's psychological as well. I don't think that everybody realizes the importance of closing above, say, 9,500, but just the market sentiment, they understand it, right? Like, we see what's going on right now as a team. So we targeted easy 161.8 extension right here, and then a 261.8 extension as well. And if we do a very detailed Elliott wave count, let's go to a 10-minute time frame, okay? If we go to 10-minute time frame here, we get a leading first wave diagonal that basically just ends up like that. And that broke down there, made a very simple ABC correction down here, right? Let me just show you guys right here. I'm just going to be very brief with the Elliott waves. So we got an ABC coming down like that. Let's get this to a primary, actually. I don't like it on this degree right here. Let's go to, actually a minor is, I prefer drawing with a minor because it has whole numbers like that, and the B looks really good on the minor as well. So we get something like that, right? With our ABC. Let's get our waves in here as well. So that made it simple ABC. This made a leading first wave diagonal in the C position here for the 5 waves overlapping. Just like that. Beautiful as well. Very easy to identify in my opinion. That made the ABC in here as well. And if we count the waves going up, we see waves 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and we also see 5 beautiful waves in here as well. Unless I'm counting something drastically wrong, sometimes we don't really know until we know in hindsight, right? So it's important to be able to identify these structures. Well, we try to ahead of time, but of course sometimes we can be completely wrong and we don't know until it's too late or in hindsight. So that's how I was able to call this top here as well, where I said that if you guys have been following me on my Twitter there, I was just calling a series of rejections. And then let me explain it to you guys, okay? 10-minute chart, we clearly peaked at a very high point, right? And if we look on the 10-minute chart, this is where wave 3 structure is, right? And this is where wave 5 structure is. Do you guys notice the bearish divergence, right? So that's indicating as well that strength is being lost in the market. And if you look on the 5-minute chart here as well, I know a lot of people don't even look at the 5-minute chart, but sometimes it gives us a really good gauge intraday to see where the possible tops are. So take a look at right here, right? We're seeing a series of bearish divergence right here. At this point right here, I was actually speaking just a bunch of my friends in private chat there, like Eric Cho and Johnny, and I was just telling them that, hey guys, take a look at this right here, where we're seeing this specific bearish divergence, and clearly it ended up breaking down. Also, this made a beautiful channel coming up, right? Do you guys see this channel for the RSI? Well, the moment that it broke this channel and this specific point right here indicated that strength was lost, it was very evident that it was going to break down. And if we look on the very final wave, where we see this as waves 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 right there. If we draw it on the 5-minute chart as well on the RSI, we can clearly see there's 5 waves like that going up, right? On the RSI as well, which indicated that it was the very final sub wave going up on the RSI, and you combine it with the candlestick analysis as well. So that was a really easy way to see it. Now, I don't think that we're gonna correct until we get to past the daily and the weekly close, which is going to be in about 2 hours. But if this is the actual Elliott wave count there, what we can easily assume is that, okay, well, this is the 5 waves that I've completed. And just to give you guys a quick lesson on Elliott waves, right? On Elliott waves like that, Usually wave 3 is often the longest and never the shortest. It can be longer than wave 1, but it can be shorter than wave 5. It can be longer than wave 5, but it has to be shorter than wave 1, right? So basically what I'm saying, did I say that right? Wave 3 is often the longest but never the shortest. So wave 3 can be longer than wave 1, and it can also be shorter than wave 5, or it can be longer than wave 5 but shorter than wave 1, which is basically implying that it cannot be the shortest wave. So we take our Elliot waves for all of wave 1 right here, or sorry, for wave 2, we would be taking it for only the wave 1 structure. And then if we take our sorry, I meant to say if we take our retracement for wave 2, it can only be for wave 1. If we take our retracement for wave 4, it can only be for wave 3. But if we do our wave 5 only retracement, you guys might be in a lot of trouble doing it this way. So make sure you're extremely careful. Always take the Fibonacci retracement for all of the wave 5 structure. So let's assume that all of these 5 waves are completed, and now the bulls are actually trying to hold their ground for this weekly close. Then what we'll have to do is we'll have to take our Fibonacci for the entire structure right here. We got to about a 236 level, which usually doesn't hold, guys. And what we like to assume is that the wave 4 territory is a very strong support zone. So let's say that this is actually the entire count right here. I do believe that in about 2 hours time, after we finish with this weekly and daily close, there's a strong chance that we're actually going to correct one of these regions. This region holds at the 382 Fibonacci level only about 12 to 15% of the time, and at the 0.5 it's about 30 to 40% of the time only. So will it actually hold on the wave 3, or sorry, the 0.382 Fibonacci level? Maybe, maybe not. But what usually ends up holding as a very strong support zone is the wave 4 territory, which could be right around the, we'll say, let's just be generous. Let's just be very generous, and we'll say it could be anywhere between 9,072 to 9,224 range. Did I say that right? I can't read that number. 9,070 to 9,224 range. So the chances of us making another impulse wave up is very unlikely just based on Elliott wave, unless we get an extended 5th wave, which could possibly happen, but also unlikely as well. So right now, I do firmly believe that the bulls are simply just holding their ground. And if we look right here, we see the volume kind of dying off now, right? Or going sideways almost, based on the moving average for the volume as well. So I really can't see us getting a higher wave, guys. So let's look on some of the candlesticks on a higher time frame now, all right? On the daily, we see a pretty decent candle, guys. Like, amazing candle, actually. This is as bullish as it could get, okay? It almost ended up being a 3-line strike, which is that what it's called, the 3 lines? I can't remember the exact name, where 1 day's candle basically engulfs all 3 days. I know the downtrend it's called a 3-line strike. And then going on, like, look at this, guys. This whole candle is engulfing both of those candles right now. The volume is looking very amazing in my opinion. These tweezers in the past 3 days are indicating that we're finding some very decent support zones right now as well. This is a massive bullish engulfing candle, or spinning top, however you want to call it, or hammer. Not really a hammer, it would have a smaller body, but it's looking great, guys. We see it, I was in my previous analysis, I was saying that we're seeing a series of bullish divergences on the RSI, and today definitely proved that we were pushing up to higher highs. We see a possible MACD crossover happening soon on the 12-hour chart there as well. Right, we see a crossover already happening on the 6-hour. Let's hope that we retain a lot of this bullish momentum, right? Here we've got about 3 hours to go on this candle, and it looks like a doji as well. But this doji may not fall, guys, until this daily candle closes. So on the 4-hour chart as well, we're getting a series of bullish divergences right here. See, it's acting as a very nice support range right here. This is probably an RSI resistance area. Right there, see, right here, right there. Let me just show you guys if you guys are not familiar with where I'm talking about. Right there, that's an RSI resistance or support, which now acts as a resistance, as you can see right here. This is why we're getting a lot of the hesitation going up. So always make sure we are identifying these key supports and resistance areas, all right? So here is a clear support area as well. This is looking awesome, guys. We tried to downtick to the negative side on the histogram, but nope, didn't even get there at all. I'm super happy with the way the market is going. And you guys should be too, right? That's why on my Twitter, I posted a bullish count. I said that I'm finally going to adopt this bullish count on the 2-hour chart, guys. This is amazing, okay? You guys know about my 55 EMA moving strategy, right? My 55 EMA moving strategy, you buy it when the yellow line is supporting all of it. So when you anticipate a crossover, you basically buy it around, say, this zone over here or so, and then you do not sell it until the moving average actually anticipates a crossover to the downside. So for example, if you bought it right here, right, just as an example there, you wouldn't sell it until it basically crosses over to guarantee a downtrend. So right here would be the ideal place for you to sell it. Right here would be the ideal place to buy it. Now, one would argue that you could probably sell it way at the top over there, but one could also argue you could have sold it here, you could have sold it maybe even earlier. So this guarantees that you're riding it to the highest possible uptrend. On a short position here, you do the exact same thing, right? You're going to short your position right as soon as it crosses over, right about there. Set your stop loss slightly higher than the 55 EMA, and you ride it until you're about to cross over. So a lot of shorts are about to get liquidated right now once this actually crosses over. If this yellow line in the next few hours actually crosses over and supports all of it underneath, we're going to be looking at a very bullish uptrend. In fact, right now already we're seeing this specific candle almost piercing the 55 EMA, which is actually a very good sign in my opinion. This actually shows that we're rejecting it to the downside. So it's all bullish across the board in my opinion right now. We just got to retain a little bit more of this momentum over the next few hours. I do believe once again that we are going to get a correction, so please keep that in mind. So that's all I kind of wanted to summarize for you guys. If you guys take a look at this region right here as well, right? That's this cluster region. That's where we're getting our next series of resistances, and that's why we simply just couldn't break it. But if we also look right here as well right now, right? Above these previous swing high positions around 9,500, this was clearly a massive support region as well, right? Or sorry, resistance region, which now becomes support. So the chances of us falling back into that range is definitely likely, but it may not be for just a few more hours. So right now we're just hovering above this region, right? As long as we stay above 9,500, like I mentioned, I think it's going to be awesome, guys. So a reasonable place for entry, again, like I mentioned, is around 9,000 to 9,250. I can't remember, rewind the video again. And then if we actually end up, actually I'll show you guys again. If we retrace to those regions, okay, 9,077 to 9,250-ish, let's say that we actually retrace to those regions, we'll end up targeting at least a 1-to-1 extension for the next one. So we could easily get up to, we're talking about, you know, 1,390, okay? 1,300, or sorry, 10,350, and the next wave after that could easily be the $11,144 range. So if everything goes to plan, we'll get a slight correction to over here, then we'll bounce up to over here, where wave 3 is usually longer than wave 1, often the longest but not the shortest. We'll probably end up getting a correction down to over here, and then we get our 5th wave up to over the 11,000 range, right? That'll be beautiful. And always keep this region in mind right here where it was double topping, right? It's around the $11,788 about. If we break that region over here in the next few waves coming up later this week, we're gonna get some awesome new highs, guys. We break this number, 11,788, and I guarantee that it's gonna be smooth sailing, and we're gonna create some new all-time highs this year, very upcoming soon, right? So March may not still be the most bullish month, but I'm fairly confident now that April is going to be looking much better than March. So I appreciate everybody being extremely patient and diligent thus far with the month of March. I know it's been extremely difficult to trade it, right? A lot of my friends have been saying it's been extremely difficult. I've been struggling a lot myself as well, and just being extremely patient, waiting for these risk to reward scenarios, finding these high probability trades, finding these low risk, high reward setups have been extremely difficult, right? So you guys should be proud of yourselves. I don't mean that condescendingly, okay? Like, I don't know how long a lot of you guys have been in the crypto market for, but I've seen so many bear trends, guys. I've lived through like like every bear market. Like, the most important years I'd say was 2017, right? And I was around for all of 2017, and that was a hard year, guys. Like, we've seen Bitcoin go from $700 to $20,000, right? And just be proud of yourselves. Once again, I don't mean that condescendingly, but if you guys were around in December and you lived through the market and you in your portfolio or your account wasn't really that hurt, awesome. Please be very proud of yourselves. If you guys have only recently entered the market and you've seen, you know, since February 6th, this great uptrend, but then this massive downtrend and correction phase right here, yeah, you guys have lived through a lot already in the cryptocurrency world, and take this as an awesome experience. Please, please see this as an awesome experience, because if you guys have lived through some of the bear markets, it's only more experience under your belt. And the more you live through these bear markets, the better of a trader you're going to be, and the more predictive you're going to become as well for the market to come in the future. So that's all I want to leave you guys with before I ended up hitting the sack. I didn't even know that I've been talking for 21 minutes already. I meant to keep this only like 10 minutes or something. So other than that, guys, I really appreciate all the love and the support you guys have given me. I apologize for my tone sometimes on Twitter. I'm always joking around, but you guys should also know by now what kind of person I am. I don't really take shit from people, right? It's just kind of how I am. So other than that, have a great day, guys. If you love the material and the content that I'm producing, I would really appreciate that you guys like, subscribe, and share as well. If you guys have made a killer profit, like we're talking massive profit, consider donating to my dog's alcoholic fund, because you guys know how much she loves her liquor and tequila, right? But don't ever go out of your ways. And it's more so just a joke as well that's been ongoing for a long time. Big inside joke about my dog drinking, who doesn't really drink, who has a cryptocurrency piggy bank that doesn't really have a crypto piggy bank, right? Because it actually she does, but it just goes all straight towards her like vet bills and stuff for emergency funds, and we just joke around about it. So have yourselves a great day, and thank you very much for watching my videos, guys. Take care now. Bye.